Assalamu alaikum. Hello everyone. I'm gonna solve with you the latest paper. This is February-March 2024. This is paper 22 IGCSE Chemistry 0620. So let's get started. Question 1. Solid X is heated for 600 seconds. The graph shows the heating curve that is obtained. Here you have the heating curve. And then what is the melting point of X? So here we have to learn something really important in heating curves and cooling curves. Here we have, this is inclined line, another inclined, and a third one. And here we have, this is horizontal line and another horizontal line. Actually guys, for every inclined or tilted line, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3. Actually, these lines express the 3 states of matter. So whenever you find these 3 tilted lines, it means the first one here, the lowest one down, is this is solid state, and this is liquid state, and this is matter in the gaseous state. But for the horizontal lines, actually this is the change of state. It means the first horizontal line, the substance started to melt from solid to liquid, and also we could say this is from solid to liquid. Oh, actually this is melting, and from liquid to solid this is freezing. And if we go up, this is another change from liquid to gas. So here this is from liquid to gas, and this is also from gas to liquid. So here we have, this is, you know, the opposite process, condensation, and that is vaporization. Okay, because the question asked about the melting point. So melting point means the change from solid to liquid. Actually we need to check this point, so let's make it more clear. So we need to read this, and here you find this is the point we need to check, because at this point substance X changes to melt. So we can start, this is 100, this is 200, so we can count, this is 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. So this is 170. So actually the answer should be B. So this is 170 degrees Celsius. Okay. Question 2. Which statement about diffusion are correct? Here he said which statements, so we need to check carefully. The first one, aqueous ions cannot diffuse in water. So cannot, this is not correct, because aqueous ions can. Number 2, diffusion is caused by the random movement of particles. Actually, this is correct. Particles spread out in all directions in diffusion. Yes, this is also correct. Diffusion can only take place in solids and liquids. Look at this, guys, solids and liquids. So of course this is wrong. So this is correct, number 2 and number 3. So the correct answer should be C, 2 and 3. Question 3. Which statement about an atom of fluorine F919 is correct? It contains a total of 28 protons, neutrons, and electrons. We can count protons, neutrons, and electrons. So here we have, this is up 19. You know, 19, this is atomic mass, and down this is 9 proton number. You know, guys, this 19 actually means this is protons plus neutrons inside the nucleus. So this is 19 already. So we can add now electrons. So 19 plus. How many electrons? You know, guys, number of electrons should equal number of protons, because the atom is electrically neutral, as everyone knows. So we can add 9 to this to see, we could say here plus electrons. So 19 plus 9, so actually the total is 28. So actually the first one is correct. If you check the rest of choices, so here you have, it contains more protons than neutrons. So this is not correct, because this is not only in fluorine, by the way, guys. This is in general atom. You will not find in any atom protons more than neutrons. Okay, so we could say here something to be memorized. Protons usually less than or equal neutrons, but can't be more than. Okay, for letter C, its isotopes contain different number of protons. So I think everyone knows the idea of isotopes is different number of neutrons, not protons. And the last one, its nucleus contains 9 neutrons. So actually, guys, you know how can you calculate the number of neutrons here? So we say 19, which is the atomic mass, minus 9, which is proton number, to give this is 10. This is for the number of neutrons. So the correct answer is A. Number 4, 2 of the isotopes of calcium are represented as, this is calcium Ca2040 and calcium 2044. Which statement explains why these isotopes of calcium have identical chemical properties? So actually, guys, remember all the time, chemical properties usually related to the number of electrons of the outermost shell, because it determines the behavior of the atom. Whatever it's metal, it's non-metal, it's gonna share, it's going to lose or gain. So here the first one, both isotopes have the same number of neutrons. Of course, this is definitely wrong, because the idea of isotopes, they have different number of neutrons. B, both isotopes have an electronic configuration of 2882. Actually, this is correct, because both of them have the same number of electrons. So if you check 20, which is number of protons, and we said little early protons in the neutral atom must equal electrons to make the atom neutral. So because we have 20 protons, so we must have also 20 electrons. So if you distribute 20, so it's going to be 2, 8, 8, 2, and this is for both of them. So actually this answer is correct. If you check C and D, both isotopes have a mass number of 20. This is not mass number actually, this is proton number. And here both isotopes have 4 fully occupied electron shells. Actually, they are not fully occupied. Not all shells are fully occupied, because if you check, the last one is not fully one. Okay. Question 5, which statement describes a property of potassium iodide? So potassium iodide, this is an ionic compound composed of potassium. This is a metal, this is positive cation, and iodine, which is negative iodide. And this is actually a solid compound, because ionic compound, they are solid. So the first one here, it's insoluble in water. You know, from the rules you studied, any compound that has Ka, so it's supposed to be soluble, and also the majority of ionic compound, they are soluble in water, so this is not correct. Letter P, it's a volatile substance, so actually we said it's solid, so its volatility, this is a property for liquids. And here it has a low melting point. This is also not correct, because it should be high melting point to overcome the ionic bond here, and you know ionic bond is really strong bond. Letter D, it conducts electricity when molten, so this is completely true, because when potassium iodide is molten, so it means we have 3 movable ions of K plus and I minus. Okay. Question 6, methanol CH2O has a boiling point of negative 19 degrees Celsius. At negative 20 degrees Celsius, the liquid methanol is a non-conductor of electricity. In a sample of methanol, each atom of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen has noble gas electronic configuration. Each atom has achieved this electronic configuration in one of 3 ways. So here we have gaining electrons, losing electrons, sharing electrons. So the question is, which statement describes the bonding between the carbon atom and the oxygen atom in methanol? So if we come back to the compound, here it's called methanol. Its molecular formula is CH2O. So if we draw the structure, or it's better to draw the displayed formula as in organic chemistry. So here we have, this is carbon, double bond for oxygen, and then single bond for H, and finally we have 1 bond for H. So this is methanol. So if we check the bond between C and O, so here we have actually double bond. It means for carbon, it shares oxygen with 2 electrons, 1, 2, and for oxygen also, it shares carbon with 2 electrons. So the total number of electrons here between the double bond of oxygen and carbon, actually they are 4 electrons. So let's check. Here the carbon atom and the oxygen atom share 4 electrons. So you have to take care here, actually guys, the carbon atom and take care of this and the oxygen atom. So actually here he asked about the sum of or the total number of electrons between them. So it should be 4, and the first answer is completely true. So second one, carbon atom and oxygen shares 2. This is not correct. They are 4. And then the rest of answers, of course, they are wrong. Okay. Question 7, the structures of diamond and graphite are shown. Which statement about diamond and graphite is correct? So here again, and graphite, diamond and the graphite. So the property should be common in both of them. So diamond and graphite contain strong covalent bonds between carbon atoms. Actually, this is true. This is correct. Both of them have strong covalent bonds. Letter B, diamond and graphite have delocalized electrons. So actually diamond does not have, this is not correct, only graphite. For this one, diamond and graphite have layered structure. So actually, once again, diamond is wrong because here only graphite, as you see, this is the layers and the bond between the layer. So diamond and graphite have low melting point. So this is not correct because above we said they contain strong covalent bonds. So actually this is not low melting point because a strong covalent bond need high melting point. So actually the correct answer is A. Question 8, which row contains a description of metallic bonding and a property that is explained by reference to metallic bonding? So as you know, in metallic bonding, we have, this is positive ions of the metals, and we have attraction with negative electrons. Okay, so the first one, a lattice of negative ions. Actually, negative ion is not correct of metal because this is metallic, should be positive, so this is not correct. Second one, also negative ion, so this is not correct. Here, a lattice of positive ion, this is true, and a lattice of positive ion in a sea of delocalized electron, this is also true. So it could be, this is wrong, and B is wrong. So it could be C and D. Let's check the second one, property explained by reference to metallic bonding. So a metal will react with an acid producing hydrogen. Actually, this is correct, but this is not related to the metallic bonding property. This is something related to the metal itself, the reactivity, the chemical reactivity, not a metallic bond. The second one, a piece of metal can be molded into different shapes. This is true, and this is because of the metallic bonding. We studied this, that the metallic bonding, they are malleable, so you can bend the metal. So actually, this option is correct. So here the correct answer is D. Number 9, what is the relative molecular mass MR of sulfur dioxide? This is very easy question because you're gonna calculate MR directly for sulfur dioxide, which is SO2. From the periodic table, you can get the mass of S, which is 32, plus the mass of oxygen, which is 16 times 2. So actually this is 32 as well, so this is 64. So the correct answer is D. Number 10, magnetite is an ore of iron which contains the ions Fe2 plus and Fe3 plus and O2 negative only. So what is the formula of magnetite? So magnetite, this is one of very famous ores of iron. It's called magnetic iron oxide. So the first one actually this is wrong because this is, if you check Fe and O, so Fe, if we take the oxidation number of 2, and Fe, it has 2 oxidation number 2 and 3. So if you put here 2, so it's going to be FeO. So this one is truly wrong. Second one, P, Fe23, this one could be correct because we make FeO, and this is again 2, and we can, sorry, this is 3 because we can take, this is 3, Fe3, and for O, this is 2. So we have, this is Fe2O3, and this is, by the way, this is hematite, the one you studied in extracting of iron in the blast furnace. So this is one possible answer, but still not truly correct. Letter C, Fe3O2. So again, if you compare with this, actually this is completely wrong. So A and A, sorry, this is C and A, completely wrong. Last one, Fe3O4. So actually this is the correct answer. Why this is the correct answer? Because actually you have to know this is called magnetite. Actually it's a mix between FeO and we have Fe2O3. So actually together Fe, this is 1 and 2 should be 3, and then O1 and 3 should be 4. So again, this magnetite is a mixture between two oxides of iron, FeO and Fe2O3. So here we have both of them, both ions together, so it should be the correct answer is D, and you have to focus in this point. So the correct answer is D, Fe3O4. Number 11, concentrated aqueous sodium chloride and dilute sulfuric acid are both electrolyzed using inert electrodes. Which row identifies the product at the cathode in each electrolysis? So here again, this is a product at cathode. So we need to focus at cathode, which is negative electrode. So in aqueous sodium chloride, so aqueous sodium chloride, this is NaCl, Na plus, Cl minus, and aqueous means we have also H plus and we have OH minus. At the cathode, because it's a negative electrode, so of course we need to cancel OH minus and Cl minus, so we have a competition between H plus and Na plus. And because Na plus is more reactive than H, so actually H or hydrogen is gonna be reduced at the cathode. So the correct answer here in the first one should be hydrogen. So C is wrong, D is wrong. If we check the second one, dilute sulfuric acid. So once again, dilute means we have water, so we have once again H plus and OH minus. And for sulfuric acid, we have also 2H plus and we have SO4, 2 minus. And then we cancel the negative because we said at the cathode only positive cations can be reduced. So here it's hydrogen also. So the correct answer here, this is hydrogen and here is hydrogen. So the correct answer is going to be B. Okay. Number 12, electrolytes can be broken down by electrolysis. Which rows are correct for each electrolyte? So here electrolyte dilute aqueous potassium chloride. So this is the same as the previous one up. So potassium chloride K plus, chloride Cl minus. Here dilute aqueous, so aqueous H plus, OH minus. And dilute, you know, we have to focus on the rule of dilute, especially with halides like fluoride, chloride, bromide, iodide, and so on. So here, reaction at cathode. At cathode, which is negative electrode, so we need to cancel negative because only positive cations will be attracted to negative electrodes. Here you have, this is H plus, here we have K plus. Once again, K plus is more reactive than H, so H or hydrogen is going to be reduced at the cathode. So here, this half equation, 2H plus plus 2 electron to form hydrogen gas, this is completely true. This is for the reaction at the cathode. But let's check the product at the anode. So here actually guys at the anode, which is positive electrode. So here we have at the positive, we need the negative anion. So we have Cl minus and we have OH minus. The question is which one is going to be oxidized at the anode? Is it Cl minus or OH minus? So you need now to check here, is the solution dilute or concentrated? We have a rule guys, please never forget it. If it's dilute solution, so all the time oxygen is going to be formed. If we have dilute, so oxygen is going to be formed, but chlorine here in case of chloride can be formed only in case of this solution is concentrated. So oxygen is going to be formed in case of diluted, so this is completely true. Number 2, concentrated, and here take care, observe this word, concentrated hydrochloric acid, and here we have chlorine, hydrochloric, so H plus, Cl minus, concentrated, so you have to take care. So again, at the cathode, we have, this is hydrogen in the aqueous solution, and we have hydrogen in the acid, so this is true for the first one. 2H plus 2 electrons to reduce H2. What about the product at the anode? Here again, this is, we have chloride ions. And we have also here, this is water, so we still have OH minus also. In this case, because the solution is concentrated, so Cl minus will be oxidized at the anode to form, this is chlorine. This is chlorine, this is correct. So actually right now 1 and 2 are correct. Number 3, molten aluminum oxide. So here guys, look at this O minus, and this is cathode minus, so this is cannot be done because both of them are minus or negative, so can't be. Number 4, concentrated aqueous sodium bromide, and once again here you have Na plus, and here this is aqueous, so it means we have H plus, this is water, remember we have water here, H plus and OH minus, and as we did above, Na cannot be reduced at the cathode in the presence of hydrogen, so this is completely wrong because hydrogen should be formed at the cathode, not sodium. So it means we have only 1 and 2 are correct. So here 1 and 2, so the correct answer is A. Okay, number 13, which statement about hydrogen oxygen fuel cells is correct? So in hydrogen oxygen fuel cells, we have a reaction between oxygen and hydrogen to form water. So here water is formed, H2O. And this reaction, because it's a fuel cell, so it should be exothermic reaction. This is a fuel cell. So letter A, hydrogen extracted from clean dry air. So this is completely wrong because we studied before we can extract hydrogen from methane CH4. B, the only product is carbon dioxide. So this is also completely wrong here. No carbon dioxide, no carbon gas. Check. Here we have hydrogen, oxygen, fuel. No carbon, so no carbon, so no carbon dioxide. Okay? Letter C, the reaction is endothermic. Again, this is wrong because fuel cells, this is actually exothermic. It produces too much heat energy. So letter D, no toxic gases are produced. Actually, this is completely true. No toxic gas because the only one product, by the way, this is water. Water is the only one product and water is not toxic gas. Okay. Number 14, which statement define the activation energy AA for a reaction? In A, it is a minimum energy that colliding particles must have to react. This is actually completely true. This is the correct answer, but we need to continue also. This is a minimum energy that endothermic reactions taken from there. Actually, activation energy is needed for all reaction, not only for endothermic. It's not specific for endothermic reactions only. C and D, here we have it's a maximum energy, and here it's a maximum energy. So activation energy can't be maximum energy. Activation energy is the minimum energy for the particles to start the reaction or to react. So it can't be maximum energy. So never start your definition for EA or activation energy by saying maximum energy. Okay, so the correct answer here is A. Number 15, the equation for the complete combustion ethane. So here is shown. So this is the reaction, and here the bond energies are listed. Here the value of the bond in kilojoule mole, and here what is the energy enthalpy change of the reaction when 1 mole, and take care this is here bold, 1 mole of ethane is completely burned. So I think this is a challenge or a kind of a tricky question, because here, see guys, this is ethane, here we have 2 moles. So actually we need to make our calculation regularly as normal, and then once we finish, remember we need to say divided 2, because the question asked about 1 mole, and this is really important. How can we solve this? You know, we have very famous rule, very easy. In this case, we need to say energy in minus energy out. So actually we need to add sum of the all energy in of the reactants, and then minus the sum of all energy out in case of products. So let's add firstly energy in, and we have to take care. So this is, let's calculate energy in. Let's say it energy in like this. So equal. Here we have, actually guys, this is 2 HC triple C single H. So let's count. Here we have CH, this is 1 bond, and again another CH, this is 1. So 1 and 1, 2 times 2, because here we have 2, actually they are 4. So we have 4 bonds of C bond H. Okay, this is first of all. Plus, we have also C triple C times 2. So this is 2 times C triple C. So let's finish this finally. So we need to substitute. So 4 times, and here CH from the table, this is 415. Everything plus, this is 2 times, and this is C triple C. C triple C, so the value here is 837. 837, okay? And then we need to add 5 O double O. So everything, this is plus, let's write it down here, plus 5 times, and here we have O double O is 498. 498. Okay, so we need to calculate, do this in your calculator, and let's see what is the final answer here. On the other hand, let's calculate energy out. So this is the value of energy out. So this is 4 times, here you have, this is C double O, so 2 times, so we can say quickly, this is 2 times 4, so actually it's 8 times C double O, so this is 805, and then this is plus 2H2O, so here we have OH, this is one bond, and take care of water because it's confusing for some students, so 1 and 1, 2 times 2, so actually it's 4, so 4 times, and this is for water OH, this is 464, so 464, and here we need to get the final of this. Let's do it in calculator and let's see. So the final here for the energy N, actually this is 5824, and this is energy N, okay, minus the final for energy out by calculator, this one, the total here is 8, and you can do it in your calculator to make sure, this is 8296. So actually together they produce, because this is bigger, so take care, this is bigger, so negative 2472. And again, if you check this answer, actually this is the first one, A, but remember we need to say divided 2, because here everything should be divided 2, because this is 2 mole and the question asked about only 1 mole. So we can use this number and say this is divided 2. So the correct answer is gonna be B, because this is only 1 mole. Okay. Question 16. In experiment 1, small lumps of limestone are added to dilute ethanoic acid at 40 degrees Celsius. The volume of carbon dioxide released is measured at regular time intervals. A graph of the results is shown. Here is the graph, and this is experiment 1. This is volume of carbon dioxide release, this is time, and here we have experiment 2, dotted line, so dotted curve. So which change gave the results shown in experiment 2? So in experiment 2, you see this curve is less steep, or experiment 1, this is steeper than experiment 2. And both of them end at the same volume, so it means they should have the same number also of moles. So if we check the factors affecting the rate of the reaction, it means experiment 1, it's faster rate. So actually guys, here, this is, remember here he said the reaction temperature was 40 degrees Celsius, and here this is less steeper. So actually we could powder and powder. This is wrong because powder will make it faster rate, and here small lumps, so this is the same, but 60 degrees Celsius as temperature will make it faster rate, so this is also wrong because temperature stays the same, this is 40. So actually the correct answer is large lump, because large lumps will make the rate slower, not faster. So the correct answer should be A. 17. In the Haber process, nitrogen and hydrogen are reacted to make ammonia. N2 gas plus 3H2 gas to produce 2NH3 gas, and the reaction is reversible. The forward reaction is exothermic. It means this is from left to the right. This is exothermic, it means the delta H is going to be negative value. So which conditions produce the maximum yield of ammonia? So we need the condition which produce ammonia, which is to the right side of the reversible reaction. So if we count number of moles, guys, because all of them are gases, so here you have 1 mole, here you have 3 moles. So the total for the reactant, they are 4 moles. And for the product, actually here we have 2 moles. And of course, this is, we need high pressure. So high pressure will be in favor of the right-hand side of the equation. So we need to check high pressure. So this law is wrong, this law is wrong. Because high pressure will press 4 moles to be 2 moles. So this is okay. So high pressure is the first choice. So what about temperature? Again, here this is because the reaction is exothermic. So reaction gives out heat, so it doesn't need extra heat. So the temperature should be low actually, because high temperature will be in favor of the reverse direction. Okay, high pressure will be in favor of reverse because already reaction is exothermic. So we give the out heat, so no need to add high temperature, so the correct answer should be low temperature. So the correct answer should be B, high pressure and low temperature. Okay. 18, the Ostwald process is used to make nitric acid. The conditions used in this process are a catalyst containing a transition element, a pressure of 10 atmosphere, a temperature of 800 degrees Celsius. Which of these conditions are also used in the contact process? So let's compare contact process, which is used to prepare H2SO4 sulfuric acid. And this is the one used to make nitric acid. You know, in the sulfuric acid, making sulfuric acid, actually, yes, we need a catalyst. And if you remember the catalyst, it was V2O5 or vanadium pentoxide. So a pressure of 10 atmosphere, this is not correct because it's actually only 2. And a temperature of 800, so the temperature is really high because the temperature actually, if you remember, it was 450 degrees Celsius. So 2 and 3 are wrong, so only the first one is true. So here we need B, which is 1 only. Okay. 19. Hydrogen iodide is dissolved in water. According to this, Hi to produce H plus, ion plus, I minus. Which row describes the final colors seen? So here we need to check the final colors seen when the solution is tested with damp red litmus paper and with acidified aqueous potassium manganate VII. So damp red litmus paper. So you know, guys, damp red litmus paper, when we put it in a solution containing H plus ion, which is acidic, okay, so it means the color stays red, no change, because we don't have OH minus. So this below is wrong. This below is wrong because H plus, the concentration of H plus will keep the color red. So the answer should be, this is wrong, the answer should be C or D. Now let's check. When we add acidified aqueous potassium manganate, which is an oxidizing agent, remember this is oxidizing agent because we have MnO4 minus, and this is manganate group, and this is oxidizing agent. So because it's oxidizing agent, it's going to be reduced to Mn2 plus. So again, this process, this is a reduction process. And here from the oxidation number was VII, and now it's only, the oxidation number now is only 2. So actually this is reduction process, and KMnO4, this is oxidizing agent. And for the color, you know, guys, the color of manganate in this compound is purple. And then the color in case of Mn2 plus, this is colorless. Okay, so this is the first part that changed for the color for the manganate. So let's check what happens for iodide, because here we have also another change of the color for iodide. Iodide will be now oxidized by the oxidizing agent, which is potassium manganate. So here we have I2 will be oxidized by losing electrons. So we can take 2 ions of I. So this is 2I minus. and then they will lose two electrons to form I2. And this process actually is oxidation. And for the color for iodine in this process of this oxidation, here in this case, iodide here acts as a reducing agent. So the color here for iodide in case of iron, actually here it's colorless. And iodine, its color is red-brown, and because of that, you could say here brown. Okay, this is iodine. So here we have actually, guys, the final color. Look at this, the final. Here we have colorless, and here we have brown. So if we have brown color with colorless color, so of course colorless can't appear. So the dominant color is going to be brown. And also the question asks about the color seen in the solution, not the test itself. So anyway, the final answer should be here brown. So this is red and brown, so the correct answer is going to be C. Number 20, which statement about aqueous ethanoic acid are correct? It can be reduced by oxidizing ethanol with potassium iodide. So actually this is not correct, because we need oxidizing here agent to be like KMnO4 or K2R2O7. So here we need oxidizing agent containing oxygen. Potassium iodide Ki does not contain oxygen. So this one does not work with ethanol, because we can oxidize ethanol by oxidizing agent to form finally the ethanoic acid. So this one is not correct because of here potassium iodide. Number 2, it reacts with magnesium to produce hydrogen gas. So actually this one is correct, because here you see, guys, magnesium can substitute hydrogen in ethanoic acid to produce hydrogen gas. So this one is correct. It has an approximate pH value of 3. This one is also true, because ethanoic acid is an acid, so pH less than 7, and also it's not a strong acid, so it's not 1, it's not 2, so actually it's a 3, it's okay. Number 4, it produces esters called methanoate. When ethanoic produces ester, so it should be actually, guys, ethanoate, not methanoate. So it seems like the correct answer here, 2 and 3 only. So the correct answer here, the final is C, 2 and 3. Okay. 21. Which element forms an acidic oxide? So acidic oxide means we need a non-metal, because non-metals form acidic oxides, while metals, they form basic oxides. So this is something really important to be memorized. So we need a non-metal. So calcium is wrong, lithium is a metal, magnesium is a metal, so actually it's sulfur. So the correct answer is D. Okay. 22. Which statement describes the properties of hydrochloric acid? Hydrochloric acid, this is HCl. So first one, carbon dioxide is produced when limestone reacts with hydrochloric acid. Guys, limestone, this is calcium carbonate, so CaCO3, which contains carbonate anion. So carbonate anion, this is CO3 2-. If you remember the table of tests of anions in paper 6, so actually carbonate can be tested by adding hydrochloric acid. So carbon dioxide will make bubbles and effervescence will be seen. So the first one, this one is true. So let's continue. Hydrogen is produced when sodium hydroxide reacts with hydrochloric acid. So actually this is not correct. Hydrogen not produced, because this is double replacement reaction, no hydrogen alone. So this is wrong. Methyl orange turns yellow in a strong hydrochloric acid. So yellow is not correct, because it should be red. Red litmus paper turns blue when dipped into hydrochloric acid. Again, this is not correct, should be also red. So the only correct answer, this is A. So remember, guys, hydrochloric acid is used to test the presence of carbonate anion, so it produces carbon dioxide gas. Okay. 23. Elements P and Q have the same number of electron shells. So what does it mean, same number of electron shells? So it means both of them are in the same period. So both of them period. And then an atom of Q has more electrons in its outer electron shell than an atom of P. So we need to put P to the left side, and then we need to put Q to the right side, because we assume they are in that same period. So because P has less number of electrons, so it should be in the left side in the same period, because guys, from left to right, number of proton increases and then number of electrons increases as well. So P should be to the left side and Q should be to the right side in the same period in the periodic table. Which statements are correct? P and Q are in the same group. So this is not correct because we said in the same period. So actually same group means same number of electrons in the outermost shell, and this is not correct. Number 2, P and Q are in the same period. This is okay. Of the periodic table, this is true. P has a greater tendency to form a positive ion than Q. So if you check again, we said B is supposed to be to the left side and the Q to the right side. So actually, this is the rule in the periodic table. Here, the one to the left side supposed to has greater tendency to form positive ion. So actually, this is correct for the P. And number 4, the oxide of Q is more basic than the oxide of P. So actually, oxide of Q here, this is supposed to be not more basic, because once again, the one to the left supposed to be more metallic property. So we said metal form basic oxides, and the Q is supposed to has like more acidic property because it's to the right. So actually, this one is wrong. So we need to check 2 and 3. They are the correct answer. So 2 and 3 means this is C. Okay. 24. Which substance reacted with dilute sulfuric acid to form a salt that can be removed from the resulting mixture by filtration? So by filtration means it's a residue, or it's a solid, or we could say it's PBT. So again, this is diluted sulfuric acid, so we have sulfate. So I think any smart one know that it should be barium cation, because when barium Pa 2+ aqueous plus SO4 2- aqueous, so supposed to produce PaSO4, and this is solid. Barium sulfate is a PBT or precipitated, so it's supposed to be aqueous barium chloride. So this is the correct answer. Sodium won't. Copper is not correct. Copper carbonate also not correct. Okay, guys. 25. Astatine is below iodine in group VII in the periodic table. Which row describes the properties of astatine? So this is the group of halogen. This is group 7 or 17. So this is fluorine, and then chlorine, bromine, iodine, and here we have astatine. So actually, guys, we have a property here. So as we go down the group, so actually the reactivity decreases. You have to remember, because this is opposite to the group of metals. So state of at room temperature, so gas, solid, solid. So actually it should be solid. So gas and the gas wrong, because only we have fluorine and the chlorine, they are gases, and then from bromine this is liquid, and down they are solids. So this is wrong. And here C and D displaces iodine but does not displace. So again, guys, we said reactivity decreases down the group. So actually astatine can't replace or displace chlorine or bromine. So this is also wrong. But here does not displace chlorine, bromine, or iodine. So this is true. So the correct answer is D. Okay. 26. Which property of copper explains why it's classified as a transition element? Copper can be bent into different shapes. So actually this is one property of being a metal, because it's malleable. Copper forms Cu2+ and Cu1+ ions. Yes, so it can form more than one oxidation number. Yes, this is a property of transition metal. Copper is a good conductor of electricity. This is again a property of metals, so not transition metals. This is for general metals. So here this is for metals. The first one also, this is all metal general, but this one be for transition. This is more specific to transition metals. Copper has a low density. This is also wrong. So the correct answer is P. And remember, transition metal, they have more than oxidation state. 27, brass is an alloy that is formed from copper and zinc. Which statements are correct? Brass, copper, and zinc all conduct electricity. Yes, because all of them are metals, and metals good conductors of electricity. Brass is a compound of, so this one is not correct. Brass is not a compound actually, because alloy, this is mixture, not compound. Brass is harder than zinc. Yes, this one is true. That's why we make the alloy itself. So we have 3 is correct, and we have 1 is correct. So we have actually 1 and 3. So this is C. 28, the equation for the reaction of metal M with aqueous zinc sulfate is shown. So which statement explains why metal M reacts with aqueous zinc sulfate? So actually guys, we need to make something to know what happens actually. So M, before the reaction it was M, and after reaction this is MSO4. So it means this is M2 plus 2 electrons. So what happens for M here, this is oxidation by losing electrons, and M itself is a reducing agent. Okay, so and for zinc what happens actually before the reaction, zinc was Zn2 plus in the compound, and then after the reaction it gains 2 electrons to form Zn. This is completely opposite. So the process here is reduction, and zinc acts as an oxidizing agent. Okay, so let's check the options here. A, zinc is less reactive than M because M is able to accept electrons. So actually here M loses electron, not accept electrons. So this is not correct, because here as you see guys, M loses electrons. So zinc is more powerful reducing agent, and here we said actually zinc is oxidizing agent because it gained electron. So it's not reducing agent. Zinc is more reactive than M because it can. So actually zinc cannot be more reactive, because if it's more reactive it can't replace M actually. So this is also not correct. D, zinc ions can remove electrons from M. Yes, this is true, because as you see here in this one, electrons are removed from M and gained by zinc. So actually the last one is the correct answer. So actually guys, I recommend everyone to do the half equation to see what happens in every one, to see which one is oxidizing, reducing, oxidation, reduction, and so on. Okay. 29, in the blast furnace the impurity silicon IV oxide is removed by the formation of slag. Which equation represents the formation of the substance which reacts with silicon IV oxide to form slag? Guys, slag here, this is actually CaSiO3. This is the slag, if you remember, and you have to memorize this. So actually to form slag, we need CaO, calcium oxide, plus we need also silicon dioxide. So together we can add Ca, and then we have Si, and then we have O3. It's called calcium silicate. This is the slag. This is a chemical name for the slag. So actually we need here calcium oxide. So calcium oxide is produced here in this equation. So actually the correct answer is C. So we have to memorize what is the chemical name for the slag, and also what is the formula. It's called calcium silicate, CaSiO3. 30, aluminium is extracted from bauxite by electrolysis. So here in bauxite we have Al2O3. So by electrolysis we have actually 2 different kind of ions. Here we have 2Al3 plus, and we have 3O2 minus. Plus means goes to the cathode to reduced, and minus means goes to anode to oxidized. Okay, so the first one, aluminium ions are oxidized. So this is wrong, because we said aluminium will be reduced. The cathode has to be replaced regularly because it reacted with oxygen. We said oxygen, this is negative, so goes to anode, and this is cathode. This is wrong. So C, carbon dioxide is produced at the anode. So this is true, because oxygen goes to the anode and then reacts with graphite, which is carbon, to form carbon dioxide. So actually this is the correct answer. Okay. 31, iron rusts but aluminium does not easily corrode. Which statement explains why aluminium does not easily corrode? So it's an alloy, so it's not alloy. Aluminium actually is an element. It's below iron in the reactivity series. This is completely opposite. Actually, it's above iron, not below. It's a transition element. Actually, aluminium is not a transition element. So here, the last one, its surface is protected by an oxide layer. So this is completely true. You know, guys, because aluminium is more reactive than iron. So usually, if this is a piece of aluminium, so because it's more reactive, so it reacts with oxygen of air to form a layer of aluminium oxide here. So this layer protects aluminium from being corroded actually. Okay. 32. Which chemicals can be used as fertilizers to provide the three elements needed for improved plant growth? We need to memorize firstly what are the three elements need to improve the plant growth. So actually we need nitrogen, very important. We need also phosphorus, and we need, this is potassium. So we need to check for these three elements in the options. So letter A, here we have M, and this is K. This second one, N, P, K, and here, so this is better. So this is N, P, N, so no K, and again here is N, here is K. So the best one contain three elements. We see, guys, here this is P. Here we have nitrogen, we have phosphorus, and we have potassium. 33. What is the color change when water is added to anhydrous cobalt to chloride? So cobalt to chloride, this is CoCl2. This is cobalt to chloride. So this one actually, guys, because it's anhydrous, so its color when it's anhydrous is blue. So once we add water, this is actually a test for water, and it's a very famous test, I think everyone knows. So the color goes from blue to pink. So actually we need to check here the answer, so it should be B, from blue to pink. 34, how do carbon dioxide and methane cause global warming? So they emit the thermal energy they have absorbed back to the earth. Yeah, this is true. And here they absorb the radiation directly from the sun. Actually, they don't absorb the radiation directly. It should meet the earth firstly and then reflect it back. So this is not correct. They increase thermal energy lost to space. Actually, this is also not correct. They reduce reflection of thermal energy from the Earth's surface. Also, this is not correct. They don't reduce the reflection. So actually, they emit the thermal energy again. They have absorbed it back to the Earth. So that's why they cause the global warming.
35 poor statements about photosynthesis are listed. Number 1, chlorophyll is required for photosynthesis. True. Number 2, the equation for photosynthesis is C6H12O6 plus 6O2 to reduce. So actually, guys, this is wrong. We will to reverse the equation because actually the auto products, not the reactant, should be carbon dioxide and water in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll. So actually, so we need to reverse the equation. Number 3, photosynthesis requires energy from light. This is also true. Photosynthesis releases carbon dioxide. This is wrong because it releases oxygen, not carbon dioxide. So here we have, this is the first one. 1 is correct, 3 is correct. So we need to choose 1 and 3, which is A. 36, which molecules are structurally isomers? You know, guys, when we say isomers, it means they should have the same molecular formula, but different displayed and structure formula. So we need to check here, count number of carbons first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So here we have C, 5. What about H? Here we have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So this is C5H12. And then here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is C5. And then H3, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this is H10. And then for number 3, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, also C5. And for H's, this is 3, 3, 6, and 3, 9. And then 9 plus 3, they are 12. So H12. So 1 and 3. And then here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is C6. So this is actually wrong without containing number of hydrogen we need. This is completely wrong, number 4. So, and also we have C5H1, C5H1, and for this C5H10. Actually, because we have double bond, so before starting, it should be different. Because in double bond, actually, number of hydrogen will be different. So, same number of carbon. And we have double bond, it means less number of hydrogen because you know the formula for it, the first one, alkane, CN, H2N plus 2. But for double bond alkenes, we have CN, H2N only. So it means hydrogen with base. So actually 1 and 3, they are correct answer. So we need to choose 1 and 3. So this is B. Okay guys. 37. Which statements about the reaction of ethane with steam are correct? So ethane, this is double bond. With steam, H2O, this is water. The process called hydration. This is addition reaction because unsaturated. So the product has a higher molecular mass than ethane. So of course this is correct because in ethane we have C2H6, but here the product actually would be, this is when we add this together, let's say this is C double, C1, 2, 3, 4 plus H2O. So actually we need to add, this is C, single C, then 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and here is OH. So here guys you have C2 and here 3, 5, 1, this is H6 and here you have O. So actually guys this is true. Number 2, the product reacts with aqueous bromine. So actually product cannot react with aqueous bromine because double bond is not here. Once double bond actually is broken, so it will not react with aqueous bromine because it's saturated now, not unsaturated. You know the test for bromine for unsaturation. Number 3, the number of electrons shared between carbon atoms decrease. Yes, because it was before C double C, and after the reaction it becomes C single C. So of course it was 4 electrons between them, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now it's only 2. So this is true. Number 4, the reaction produces an alcohol and hydrogen. So this is not correct, no hydrogen, only alcohol. So actually correct answer is 1 and here the correct answer is 3. So 1 and 3 should be B. 38. Methane and chlorine react to form chloromethane. Which row describes the necessary reaction condition and the type of reaction? So methane, this is alkane as you see guys, so it means it's saturated. So actually it can't react by addition, it can react only by substitution. This is for all alkanes. You know, alkanes react by substitution, not addition. Addition would be for the alkenes. So we need to check between A and B. So here the condition is ultraviolet light and here the condition is nickel catalyst. So I think everyone remembers this is ultraviolet light, UV light. So the correct answer is A. And then 39, parts of the structure of 2 different monomers X and Y are shown. Which show about the monomers and the linkage between the monomers of polymers X and Y is correct. So here let's check monomers in X and Y. Are they different or same? Here, so first one, the monomer here, so we should determine the repeating unit. So this is the monomer, first one in X, and here is the second monomer. And you see guys, here we have the link. So the link here is C double O, and then we have, this is NH. So actually guys, you remember this is called amide link. Okay, so this is amide link between them and we have 2 different. And here in Y, also we have 2 different monomers. This is one monomer and this is another. You see guys, the monomer is repeated. C double O NH and here C double O NH. But if you check here, this square it's shaded and this one is light. So it means we have different carbon chain here. Take care guys, this point. So it means we have different carbon chain. Not the same in the carbon chain for the monomer. So also here, this is not the same. And for the link, actually this is the same link. This is also amide link. Okay, so we need to check for the monomer, they are different. So A or B, and for the link in X are different from the link in Y. It's not correct because they are both of them are aligned. So we have the same. So we need to choose letter B as correct. Okay, guys? And finally, this is 40. Substance Q tested using paper chromatography. The resulting chromatogram is shown, as you see. Here we have solid front. This is baseline. Here we have two spots. So which statement is correct? Q is a pure substance. So actually, guys, Q is not pure because here we have two spots. So it means this is a mixture of two different substances. Rn value of the lower spot is 0.25. So this is the lower spot, this one. And if we take a line to the baseline, and then another line to the solvent front here. So if we make this value divided this, so I think the value is not 0.25, it seems to be more than half, not 0.25, so this is also not correct. And letter CQ is a mixture of at least two different substances. Yes, it's a mixture because we have two. This is true also, so this is true. Last one, Q, is a compound of two elements. Actually, the word compound is completely wrong. Here in chromatography, guys, take care. Never forget we use chromatography to separate components of mixtures, not compounds. So the correct answer here is C. Okay? So actually, guys, I try to explain step by step, slowly, to allow everyone to take his time, to understand carefully. Hopefully, it was helpful. Thank you so much, guys. See you.